Hello again, Ian Stokey with Mastermind Games, back with more of the Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader box set, this time the Glitchlings. True Blue 09017. Glitchlings seem to be a variant of Nurgling that interfere with technology. So with that in mind, I'm painting them based off one of the more infamous technical glitches, the blue screen of death. So going to use a larger brush on this. What did I do with the one I used last time? I had big models. There we go. So we'll just go rough and fill in the details later, but in game they do inflict a -1 penalty to ranged attacks made against them. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot to them. All of the actually all the Rogue Trader models in general are not really that over the top compared to other characters, but they are fairly quick and easy to throw into any game as their own detachment. And all these little monsters have a lot of personality. Oh, I just noticed one of his feet's actually backwards, so it might actually be someone else's foot this Glitchling is using for a shoe. But regardless, I'm still going for this blue screen of death look, which I'm sure everyone who owns a computer has encountered at least once. Usually shows up when you're doing something important and your computer decides to have a hissy fit. I'm getting a little more paint. And one special ability that the Glitchlings and the other minor creatures I'm coming up on in this set have is, when included with Vulgar or Thrice Curse, they don't take up detachment slots. I might do a second coat of this, I might not. If I do, it'll be off camera. I believe this one is sitting on a head or a skull. It's a little hard to tell, but definitely is holding the viscera of some poor schmo in his hands. Alright. That's a start. Let that dry and move on. Okay. I did do a second coat of blue. So now I'm going to take Leather White 09062 and do some details. The Glitchlings themselves before moving on to the things they're holding. Tongues. Any exposed parts of the underlying musculature. These creatures are demons after all. I did refer to them as vermin in the last video because I do associate them with the smaller models that come with this set that are part of this sub-faction. This may not be the most suitable brush for this anymore. Go ahead and pick out the hair-like detail on the white as well. Going from one section at a time. Forgot to get the eyes on this one. Shield Brown 09161. So the accoutrements they're holding. Where this one got a wooden sword is beyond me, but still not as baffling as how the Writher got a fish. Let's see. Okay. Broken bottle. That one makes sense. That one makes plenty of sense. There's the other peg leg. Okay, that's actually some guy's head, so I need to get another color to do that, so that was a skull, so getting the hair, just doing the brown because, and chaotic red. Some free-flowing gore. This is not doing what it should be doing. Alright. There's going to be at least one more coat in this case, so I'm just going to let that dry and go from there. Okay. Golden Skin 09092. Fill in and around the gore effects there. Excuse me. Okay. There's something else. This Yellow Bone 09143. Using just enough water to keep the brush moist and dilute the paint. Not an excessive amount. Going down this thigh bone, looks like. Where'd I put it? Uniform gray. Let's just go on these sort of base areas. It's more for helping it blend into what's going to hook up to the basic material, anything else. I'm just getting a little tongue-tied here. I'm just trying to get in camera. Alright, that's base coats. Once it dries, I can start shading. Well, I'm having some camera problems, but I'm just going to have to roll with it. Woodstain Brown 09160. Going on to the shading now. Thinning out with 1 part water to 1 part paint. Darker colors will need 2 to 3 parts water per 1 part paint. And just go over the base coat. Yeah, I'm going to use a metallic color on this broken bottle, but I'll use that as the highlight. I think that should give me the effect I want. Stained Ivory 09142. I'm literally only going to be able to do 1 or 2 colors at a time. So, and it is punched out my camera. Oh boy. Need to avoid doing adjacent colors until they dry, because otherwise they'll blend in together. That might work for you in some cases, but in others it might not, so it's just something to be mindful of. And I think that's all I can do right this minute. Back in a bit. Okay, next I'm gonna do Sapphire Blue 09016. Which seems to be just about shot. Here we go. That little bit should be plenty. Trying to avoid the bits that are going to stay white, especially white. The other colors should be okay, since they are darker. I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling very talkative right this minute. Get that out of the eye socket there. Don't want to blot out the white. Halfway done. Okay. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. Leather white 09061. I'm gonna have to figure out what's causing these lines, but then again, maybe it's because I'm painting glitchlings. This line thing was a problem I thought I had finally solved. Apparently not, so. Did something to my thumb. It kind of hurts. I'm not sure what though, but I'll have to. Red brick 09001. Clog nozzle here. Clearing that off camera here with a paper clip. Okay. I'm going to take a little gamble here and do Stormy Gray 09088. Okay, that's shading. Once it dries, I can highlight in detail. Okay, time to highlight. Ghost White 09063. Going to a dry brushing technique. So I'm going to need a ragged feather brush for this. Something along the lines of that. Straight paint, no water. And rubbing most of it out on the paper towel. That looks like there's nothing left. And then lightly dusting the area to be affected, starting with the lowest portion of the model, going to the highest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this detail right here is the Glitchlings exposed colon. And honestly, on a Nurgle model, will that surprise you? I've done something to my arm. I've got this weird spasm in my left bicep, and I don't know why. It's not interfering with my painting right now, so I don't care right this second, but it's something I'm going to have to keep an eye on. And next, that's what I'm looking for. Scorched metal 09125. This is only going to go on the broken bottle, just to give it a metallic shine here. And next up, Vampire Red. This is a Warpaints color. And as always, all the colors I use will be in the description just below the links to my home business there. Give that a half a second. That's a little wetter than I would normally do on a highlight, but creamy ivory 09144. I'm still having some focus problems, but this is working kinda. Adjusting the position of the light of my secondary lights. So we'll see if that helps, but that focus issue is still one of my big problems I'm working on. Golden highlight 09093. Driftwood brown 09162. This might be a little soft for this. I guess it'll work reasonably well. But generally a stiffer brush will work a little better than a more delicate one. Softer is what I'm thinking of. Alright. Now the big one, Sky Blue 09018. And I don't particularly care if this nicks the white too much. If this nicks the white a little, I'm not going to care any other colors. After all, these are demons. I kind of see them as shifting in and out of reality, especially since I'm going for a paint scheme based off a computer glitch. Refreshing the paint as needed. And of course, I can totally picture Glitchlings speaking in a voice like a text-to-speech device. Although, assuming they're a variant of Nurgling, most of their speech will just come in the form of giggles and bowel movements. Misty Gray 09090. Not a whole lot of it's just a bit around some of the bases. And that's it for the highlighting. Now I'm going to take a flathead brush and matte black. And just using just enough water to thin the paint. Same as a base coat, I'm just going to get the edge, line the edge of the bases. I nicked the foot there a bit. I'm just gotta be careful about that. So that sky blue again to touch it up. Okay. Need to let that dry now to do the basing. Alright. Next. Basic materials, so a mixture of white glue and water. And that happened. This container is just the lid to a bottle of Gatorade I've saved for exactly this purpose, so there's plenty of solutions that are so cheap as to be practically free for things like this. Plenty of water, a brush brush you're going to sacrifice because this will run it sooner. And then thoroughly mix that up and get my base material out over here, which is talus or rock debris, and I use a mixture of fine, medium, and a little bit of coarse. Painting the solution around the feet of the model. Being very generous on the solution itself, making sure I'm using plenty of it. And give it a dip in the material. A little bit more right up the front there, so a little more solution. Another quick dip. And taking a separate brush that is dry, I'm going to push it away from areas I don't want it. Okay. Play the rest. Now this is going to have to set for a bit before I go on to the second to last step. The final step I can't actually do on camera, but I'll explain it when I hit it. If I don't allow this to set for a bit first, then this material will just get some divots in it. And I am considering switching to custom sculpted scenic bases for my Warhammer 40,000 at some point. It's something I do for Malifaux and Relic Knights. I just haven't yet. Last one with the broken bottle. I'm hearing my computer making bad noises, but I'm just going to focus and finish on this first. And then the brush goes flying. Okay, not too bad. Let that sit, and then I can seal it. Okay. Last step I can do on camera, a spray or brush on adhesive, glass eyedropper, because this stuff will bond to plastic quickly. Carefully drip on the base. Let it soak up. And this will give it a rock hard finish and seal it so it doesn't get in your bags or boxes, whatever you use for transport and storage. Now the last thing to do after this is to seal it with varnish. Now, I can't really do that part on camera because aerosol can. A little more. is it. The Glitchlings from the Rogue Trader box set for Kill Team and Warhammer 40,000. Continuing on with the little guys the next video. Until then, I am Ian Stuckey with Mastermind Games, signing out.